We are here again, part 2. In this video, you're going to learn how to calculate how much cement and how many tons of qualities you need to be able to build your house.
I'm happy. We've been talking for a little while now. People were telling me to come meet you because I'm in the city now.
Yes.
I'm happy. Like, I'll just say right now, for my channel, we got a
In the previous video,
This guy
we shared
is
how many bags of
Thank
cement
you.
and how much qualities you need to be able to make blocks for building a 3-bedroom house. So in this video, we now want to build this house. So we want to know how many bags of cement and also how much tons, how many tons of qualities or sand do we need for us to be able to build this house. Now, I always go back to bullets. So the bullets for you to remember on this topic is that 10 wheelbarrows of quarry dust or sand is equal to 1 ton. We already shared about that in the previous video. Number 2, a bag of cement plus 5 wheelbarrows of quarry dust makes 35 cement blocks. We shared in the previous video. If you did not watch the previous video, please go and check part 1 of how to start a cement block business. And then there you will be able to learn more about these bullets I'm sharing here. Number 4, an average 3-bedroom house will require 3,000 to 3,500 cement blocks. Average 3-bedroom house. And then number 5, an average 4-bedroom house will require 3,500 to 4,000 cement blocks. Right. I forgot to share also here. Number 3, 1 bag of cement plus 5 wheelbarrows of quarry dust will lay 85 cement blocks. So when you are building, 1 bag of cement, if you mix with 5 wheelbarrows of quarry dust of sand, you will be able to bricklay or block lay about 85 blocks with that 1 bag. Okay, so we have a 3-bedroom house. Now we're saying that we need about 3,000 cement blocks. Let's see. So 3,000 cement blocks divided by 85, which means like we're saying 1 bag of cement will help us to lay, with 5 wheelbarrows of qualities, will help us to do a block laying of 85 cement blocks. So we'll divide that to find how many bags that we need for building a 3-bedroom house, which is using 3,000 cement blocks. So if we take 3,000 cement blocks divided by 85, it will give us 35.29 cement bags. So we'll just round it out to 35 bags. So you need 35 bags to be able to build a house with 3 bedrooms. And this particular house, you're using the 150mm by 400mm by 200mm blocks. So here in Malawi and maybe in Southern Africa, we're generally using 2 types of blocks: the 150mm by 400 by 200mm high, or the 200 by 400 by 200mm high. I understand in West Africa, I think it's 4 point something, so it's 450 something. That's what I heard from somebody who told me. But this side we're using this block. So this particular 3-bedroom house we are going to build with 150mm by 400mm by 200mm high blocks. Right. So 3,000 of them, of the blocks, divide by 85, which is the number of blocks that are going to be laid using 1 bag of cement with 5 wheelbarrows, is gonna need 35 cement bags. Now that we've got 35 cement bags, and then we must remember those 35 cement bags will be multiplied by 5 wheelbarrows. So if we multiply the 35 bags by 5, it's going to give us 175 wheelbarrows. Because like we say, each bag we're mixing with 5 wheelbarrows of water dust or sand. So 35 bags multiplied by 5 is giving us 175 wheelbarrows. Now, 175 wheelbarrows divided by 10, because we already shared that you need 10 wheelbarrows to get 1 ton. So if we take 175 wheelbarrows divided by 10, it's going to give us 17.5 tons. So to build a 3-bedroom house, which is going to use 3,000 cement blocks, you need 17 tons of sand or quarry dust to be mixed to be used for building the house. Not for making blocks, but for building the house. So, just as simple as it is, 3-bedroom house, which uses 3,000 cement blocks, will need 17 tons of quarry dust or sand, and will need 35 bags of cement. As simple as that. Once you understand this, because many people, they want to build a house, but then they find out that they don't have any idea how many materials or how much cement or how many tons of quarry dust they're gonna use. Using this kind of information that I'm sharing here, it will make life much easier. Alright, so if you didn't understand what I'm saying, please leave a comment. Give me which part you did not understand, but this is how simple it is. If you are going to use 3,000, let's say 3,500 blocks, you do the same thing, 3,500 divided by 85, and then so on and so forth. But for those who are in West Africa, because now you're using different sizes of blocks, I think I can help you to do the calculations. If you can just try to find for me one thing, go and buy quarry dust, 1 ton quarry dust, and try to make cement blocks from there, and see how many blocks you're going to produce using the size of the blocks that you're using in Nigeria or Ghana or wherever you are. So once you do that, once we find how many blocks you're getting from 1 ton, then I can start adding that information and then simplifying it so that you can be able now to use those kind of measurements. I will have an idea of how many blocks are coming out from a ton using the type of blocks you're using, making it very easy for me to be sharing more information with you on how to do the calculations. So, if you are getting confused with this video, please watch the previous video, which was part 1, and then understand first this part that we shared about the tonnage in terms of producing blocks. So some of you are going to be asking me questions to say, but Ted, I am going to be starting a business making cement blocks. Why do I need this information? You need this information because sometimes your customers, they want to buy blocks from you, but they don't know how many blocks they should buy to build their house. So you should be in a position to help them to do the calculations so that they can know what type of materials, the quantity of the materials they're going to use when they are busy building their house. So this information is very important. But for those who also want to build a house, or those who are in construction business where you're building houses for people, you can use this information to get the idea of how many or how much materials you're going to need in terms of getting the number of bags and also quarry dust. This information does not include materials for slab and foundation. So you are just going to figure out how many blocks you are going to be used for building a 3-bedroom house. You're going to find out how many bags of cement you will need, and also how many tons of quarry dust you need for building, not for making blocks. Alright, the next video, which is going to be part 3, I'm going to share how to do calculations when you are building a fence or a perimeter around your yard. So when you're building a fence using cement blocks, we will do a calculation so that now you can understand how many blocks you need to cover your fence. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.